hello everyone who is joining, who has joined, who will join. So today, in the scope of our DevOps community, we would like to um, test, let's say, knowledge of DevOps world of our audience. And today we will have some short quiz about some modern DevOps topics like clouds, Kubernetes, containers, Terraform, Cloud Native, and many, many others. It will be 10 questions on different topics. Uh, some of them will be more technical, some of them will be more general, but I hope that it will be convenient and interesting for you to answer these questions. And in the end, don't forget to share your feedback. It really, really valuable will be for all of us. And let's start with short introduction. My name is Alex, so I'm a part of org team of our DevOps community, and I work at EPAM, obviously. So, guys, Maxim, Victor, tell something about you.
It was very interesting self-presentation from you, Alex. I can say the same words from myself. I also work in EPAM and a part of DevOps community in EPAM and have a little participation in organizing this event for today. And let's pass the word to our king.
The king of DevOps. Hello guys, my name is Victor. I am engineer, first of all. I love DevOps. I believe DevOps should be everywhere for all projects in your life. DevOps is not a person. Maybe a little bit spoiler the first question in our quiz. Anyway, DevOps is philosophy, DevOps is methodology, DevOps is everything but not a person. I know like today everyone thinks DevOps it's a person who knows, I don't know, Kubernetes plus cloud plus Terraform plus something else, and this plus something else in more cases related to 100 plus skills. Yeah. But anyway, about myself, I'm very familiar with Kubernetes. I love Kubernetes. I can speak about Kubernetes a long time. I can speak about DevOps also during I don't know 2, 3, 4 hours, as you can. So during our podcast session on Monday, we can speak about on any topics. More related to, of course, DevOps, and try to, for example, Apple release something and we can understand how it will affect DevOps world also. Like, for example, new Apple devices with new chip M1. Yeah, and like if you are DevOps, don't buy currently these new Mac devices. Because you will lose Docker, Go application will not work, and so on.
It's not the main thought from our podcast.
Of course, so, yeah, but in general.
The main thought from our first podcast in English was do not use the tools versions lower than 1.0.
From Karen, yeah.
Yep.
Our superstar.
Yeah, with the star behind him.
Sasha, can you please just like, I don't understand what exactly I should do. Just like I see something that conference DevOps quiz, something on the top of your sharing screen, but in general, what I should do, and maybe you'll help our audience to do it also with us. Sasha?
Sasha.
Yes. So looks like something slower on my connection. So yeah, today we will use Menti.com platform to pass the quiz. Everything you need, just go to www.menti.com and you will be prompted to enter some code. It's on the screen. After typing everything, you will be page. And during our quiz, I will move forward from one question to another, and you have only one task. Just answer the questions. The fastest answer is good. You will receive more points. The correct answer is good. You will receive some points, and wrong answer
Not so good.
Thank you. So anything. Yeah.
So maybe
Generally,
the
yes.
fastest will
We
win
have,
the prize.
yeah, the person who will answer all the questions correctly with lowest time will won prizes. We have only three winners who will receive something from us. All receive our congratulations and probably some recommendations during this. So, guys, what do you think? Can we start? We have some fixed number of people. I don't think that we can or should wait for somebody else.
Yeah, I think
What do you think?
let's start. Anyway, we have only such a minutes just like for our event. Let's start. I will also join. Maybe I will win a prize. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Cheating.
Okay. Okay, so short introduction. We will have 10 questions and 35 seconds per question to answer it. So you have only that amount of time to answer. Don't Google because it won't be so interesting. And after each of the questions, we will probably give some comments from our side, probably explain why this answer is correct and why others are not. So let's begin.
Let the game begin.
So we have 1, 2, 3, 6, 8, 9 people who are waiting for going forward, and let's go. And the first question, as Victor already mentioned, what is DevOps? For you, for somebody else, for wherever. Options are this pretty similar. So DevOps is Rockstar in your team who fixes all the stuff you are doing or your colleagues does. It's Azure service, Azure DevOps. Everybody knows what is it. DevOps in common is something else. And yeah, everybody answered. 7 people answered correctly because DevOps. Victor, was
It's
it?
not
What
the
is
person,
DevOps?
and of course, it's a silverboard for your CI/CD process. Or I'm wrong.
I think each
yeah,
answer
so
is correct, more or less.
I answered wrong. DevOps is set of practice. DevOps is philosophy. DevOps is how you in general organize your development process, delivery process, and so on. And just like maybe somebody think like DevOps is a person, not guys. DevOps it's set of practice in general. Highly recommend to read book DevOps Handbook or Phoenix Project, what we discussed during our podcast last 10 minutes, I believe. Books for DevOps.
And who is not a fan of reading books could dive in the LinkedIn course DevOps Fundamentals, where the guys also explaining what is DevOps and what are the parts of DevOps philosophy.
Yeah. So it was some kind of warm-up. Let's move forward.
Next question, how to build a rocket?
Our... no, not exactly. Question 2. And it sounds like, what is RTO in the SRE world and DevOps world?
A lot.
It's reboot time objective. It's Ruby Python operations. It's recovery time objective and real-time operations.
Operators. I think it's plenty of new acronyms in one sentence.
Yeah. For somebody, probably, yeah. SRE, for somebody who doesn't know, it's site reliability engineering.
Or it's
Victor
site reboot engineer.
Or restart.
Yeah.
Or restart engineer.
First time it's reboot, then it's restart, and last thing is reload. What is the result?
And one person didn't respond at all. So, and probably Victor can. Okay. Victor, you are the best subject matter expert in this area. Could you please
RTO.
explain what is
RTO.
RTO?
Recovery time objective. It's, like, for example, we have a problem with our application or, I don't know, something happened with our product. It's a time when we lost, I don't know, access, or in general, our application stopped working. Yeah. And Alex, Sasha, please fix me if I'm wrong. It's a time when we, roll back, return to the full functionality, and all of our application works as we expected, and so on. And it's a time like between your failure and when you continue to work as usual, to business as usual.
So from fail to restore.
Yes.
Or from fail to restart. Okay. Okay, move forward, I believe. And question number 3 will be the following. Counting and question about Azure. Which of the following Azure Cloud services offers serverless capabilities? Victor, could you please name the options?
Azure App Service, my favorite Azure Kubernetes service, Azure Functions, and all about all of them.
I know that, Victor, you will select AKS.
Of course, AKS.
Yeah. Even if you know that it's not correct answer.
It doesn't.
Just to support Kubernetes.
Yes, and meanwhile, yesterday AWS announced one interesting feature. Now, AWS Lambda function will allow to run containers as a serverless application, not just code and basic containers. Okay, we have answers and we have some differences. So, who is the best expert in Azure?
Maxim?
Victor?
Again, me?
Maxim.
Okay.
I am not the best expert in Azure, but Azure Function is a service that is just running your code, and you do not need to worry about where it will be run, which types of machine it should be, which operation system it should be. You do not do any operational stuff. That's why it's called serverless. You just want to run your code.
Yeah, and it's the main part of serverless. All cloud provides 3 different type of services. In more cases, it's like split on 3 area. It's infrastructure as a service when we use only virtual machines. That's it, like AC2 or virtual machines in general, or compute engine from GCP. PaaS solution, for example, very great example is RDS from AWS or Azure SQL, where we just use application, use SQL engine, and you upload all of your data and make some changes, working with this data. And the last one is SaaS solution. For example, it's Office 365 or Dropbox or something else. In general you cannot configure at all. You just consume this as a service.
Yeah.
And what about serverless?
Thank you, Victor.
Serverless is more related to PaaS, I believe, because anyway you upload your functionality, and some services very difficult to move to some specific category. For example, cloud storage. What is it? It's SaaS or it's PaaS, because in PaaS we can configure something, and in cloud storage we can configure, I don't know, retention, who can access, I don't know, capacity, and so on. It's not only as a service. We have some configuration part of that. But in general, 3 type of services, and from my point of view, serverless and Azure Function more related to PaaS solution.
I just wanted to add that serverless and especially functions that are running in different clouds, I sometimes called FaaS, function as a service.
Yeah.
We can move next.
Okay. Yeah, we can. So question 4. And this question will be about Kubernetes.
Every answer is correct.
Favorite?
My favorite topics.
Yeah,
50 chances.
yeah. So the question is, volumes at pod level are erased after pods get deleted for all volume types and configurations. Victor, for you, is it a difficult question or not?
Not. If you're familiar with in general storage with Kubernetes, but it's not so easy topic in general because in most cases Kubernetes is used for stateless application where we don't store in general anything on Kubernetes and just like proceed with that. Yeah, I don't know, like for example, some jobs and so on, or web application. Yeah, when we don't store some session and so on, and all of our stateful like storage and so on. In most cases, the guys try to upload but put to separate place like virtual machine or use as a service and so on. But in general, it's not so difficult, and it's false, of course. Yeah, because for different volume exists different life cycle. Yeah, you can configure it in general. Yeah, you can, for example, set like a policy. I want to delete. I want to like that storage should be stay like for some time. I don't know, or just like you're going, I don't know, to use in the future or so on, and retain, for example, something like that. Yeah.
In any way, I think that it's not a hard question, even if you are not familiar with Kubernetes, because it's from architectural perspective, it's very strange that you can't save the data that was on your volume when you remove the pod. So even in Docker, there are a possibility to save some settings or data that was in the Docker container, and I assume that the K8s also forgot the word. So it's also a little bit similar with Docker. So it can run Docker containers, and then you have the possibility to save the data in Docker containers. Then you should have the possibility to save the data in the K8s.
Short Kubernetes 1.3. Kubernetes for Kubelet will get rid of Docker at all, and they will use Docker shim as a runtime and so on and so forth. So
don't you think
read this news and be ready?
Don't you think that everybody is getting rid of Docker? So Kubernetes is get rid of Docker.
Yeah, probably.
Ubuntu is getting rid of the Docker by providing Podman instead of it.
Yeah. Again, it's some different topic for this topic for different conversation. We will move forward with our quiz. And the fifth question will be about AWS and what service does AWS Macie provide? Options are machine learning, Internet of Things, S3 querying service, data security, or this is yet another service and generation of services to spin up and manage containers in AWS.
We need an answer. I don't know.
I want the answer.
It's a quiz.
Because for me, it's something new. I did not heard about AWS Macie. But I selected the one choice. It would be interesting if it's correct or not.
This quiz is mostly for fun. I don't know, is it possible to know everything? And you see, I believe the same story for all the audience. And actually, AWS Macie is one of the security service mostly, and it allows to manage data in secure manner. Probably, at least I'm familiar with AWS Macie because I passed AWS certification twice only, and I have never worked with it myself in some projects in reality. but it's something which AWS provides, and actually it's one of the most interesting services for companies and applications who takes care about the security in their realities and should be compliant with different compliant standards like HTTP, no, how it's called? GDPR and so on and so forth. Yeah, I accidentally wanted to say DDR4, but it's not the standard. Okay, so
Looks like
let's
we
move
have
forward.
2 security engineers on the
Yeah.
line.
Well, maybe it's like,
I
run
believe so.
like somebody.
Gut feeling.
Yeah.
Gut feeling, yeah. So actually, we have only 7 minutes left, so let's take care about the quiz, mostly about speaking. So the next question about Google Cloud Platform. So the following Google Cloud Platform service is fast. And actually, Maxim gave some tip to questions before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Steam.
And probably somebody who is really attentive will be answered correctly.
I think it's
and actually this
Kubernetes engine.
abbreviation
Kubernetes.
probably, but
Yep.
basically, yeah.
Every time you see Kubernetes, just
If I'm not
select it.
mistaken, yeah. If I'm not mistaken, FAS was introduced by Google first time when they introduced this service, and this service is Cloud Functions. It's Maxim answer, I believe, Kubernetes engine.
No,
Maxim won't win something.
No, I was bluffing.
Okay. And actually, it's pretty obvious. I don't think that we need to speak about that. Compute Engine and App Engine is basically infrastructure as a service. App Engine and Kubernetes is platform, and Cloud Functions is FAS because it sounds similar to PaaS, but at the same time we can name it like dedicated set of services in the clouds. Okay, move forward. And the question number 7 will be about yet another topic. And this topic will be, I forgot to type enter, and the topic will be Docker. And the question is, in Docker file, you can define CMD without entry point. And you have 2 answers, true or false, so it's really 50-50 question. Maxim, what do you think?
Yep.
Is it a difficult question or not?
When I read the word entry point or CMD in one sentence with Docker file, I always remember this interesting table in the Docker documentation, how these two are combined together. And I was never able to remember what are the connections between these two instructions. But I think that yes.
Okay, let's see how everyone.
Seems like
exactly.
Yeah.
But basically, the best practice, some kind of best practice is specifying them together. To specify entry point, it's some entry process for your Docker image. And using CMD, you can define some arguments passing to this command or script, whatever it is. But actually, you can do that without entry point at all. Just specify CMD and vice versa. If you would like, you can specify your arguments and entry point. But the best practice is that, because you need to change arguments from time to time. So, yeah, it's something for understanding the documentation of Docker, as Maxim mentioned correctly. Okay, let's hurry up. Next question will be about one of the favorite tool. It's Ansible, and it sounds like, what does the limit flag do with the Ansible playbook command? And the possible answers are, there is no limit flag at all, and it's fake from my side. This flag controls the number of processes which Ansible runs during this execution. It limits the number of attempts Ansible will try to run the same playbook in case of errors. And this flag allows you to run a playbook against specific hosts. That's it. Victor, what do you think about this question?
As you can see, not so much people knows the right answer, and in general, I'm not very familiar with Ansible. It's not my favorite topic. I have not possibility, like a chance to work with Ansible. From configuration management, I work with Puppet, and in nowadays, not so much people use in general CM, configuration management, and just like I work with Puppet and then switch to Kubernetes.
Okay, and so right answer is really it allows you to limit the blast point of your run. You can specify one IP address, one host, one group of hosts instead of running the whole group of hosts. It's really suitable for cases when you would like to test some update and don't want to run it against a large group of hosts. Okay, next question, and really small amount of time. Surprise question about Alibaba Cloud.
Why?
And what service?
Cloud provider in.
Yeah, I know. And the question is, what service does not exist in Alibaba Cloud? And the options are Apsara DB for PolarDB, Apsara RDS for SQL Server, Apsara DB for Redis, and Apsara DB SQL MongoDB service. Guys,
select
can you
random random choice.
My choice
actually,
and or maybe I'm not sure between PolarDB and MongoDB, because MongoDB, I know their policy is they don't want to provide in general as a service, and for example in the audience also very so it seems like MongoDB is the right answer. If
yes,
remember, Mongo does not allow in general for any cloud to run Mongo as a service because it requires some license and so on. I know they provide a way how to run Mongo as a service, like in this case Mongo deploy for your needs Mongo, like a Mongo engine in general in your cloud subscription, and that's it. But it's not like RDS or Cloud Scale where you just select I want to MongoDB as a service. No.
Actually, MongoDB mostly use it as an open source product. But anyway, you're partially correct that some clouds doesn't provide MongoDB. And in Alibaba, it actually provides the service, but it's a tricky question because MongoDB is not NoSQL database. And in this option, you have ApsaraDB SQL MongoDB. It's mostly like some catching of reading the answers them itself, not about understanding the service, because I'm also have never worked with Alibaba Cloud at all. Fortunately or not, I don't know, but anyway, it was some kind of tricky question. Okay, the last one from our list today will be the question of my favorite topic. As Victor says, I'm know only Terraform. So the question is, which of the following is not a provider in the scope of Terraform terminology? And the options are AWS, Local, EKS, GitLab, and Kubernetes. Victor, what are your impression working with Terraform? I know that you have some recent experience with it in Google Cloud, so what are your impressions?
My choice, EKS.
Okay.
I thought that Alexander is asking just what do you feel using Terraform?
Yes, but okay, EKS, Kubernetes, everything is fine.
Kubernetes.
Yeah, and you are right, because EKS is service. a provider is something which gives you an abstraction between your HCL code and real API calls. It transforms HCL to API calls to real provider, and EKS in that case is just a service. And actually, as a provider, which allows you to manage EKS with Terraform, it's AWS, plus Kubernetes from time to time if you need to manage something inside Kubernetes cluster, like some manifests, kind of services, and so on and so forth.
So let's figure out who is the winner.
Yeah, let's see. Go next. And see. Okay, great.
Congratulations.
Okay, Mark Richardson is the first place. I don't know how to show all the. Okay, so let's repeat this. I need to remember nicknames. I sorry for misspelling probably Mahender and ex Smetana. I believe. So guys, you will receive some gift from us. Please post some contact details in the chat of our community, and we will reach you probably tomorrow in order to share the details. And for everybody participated in this quiz, please show your feedbacks, if any. I believe on your Mincy should be something like feedback form. Yeah. If not, if you hurry up, it's fine because we are already running run out of time. It's really long day for me. Sorry. Nice sense of humor. Thank you. I hope that Victor is really good person who know good jokes.
Why me? I
don't know.
Yeah, direct. I see. Anton, can you? Got it. Got your email. So I picked up all of your emails in our chat, and not sure like tomorrow, guys. Let's expect on next week because during this week we all still conducting our conference in general, and the last day on the Friday we will discuss at work with our and try to take a look at what exactly happened with IT in general, but of course from DevOps area. Maxim and me will try to understand what's by the end of this year we still should to use and maybe stop to use in general, on next year, and so on. And see you on Friday, guys. For me, it was pleasure to see you here, all of you. And see you on Friday.
Yep. Thank you for joining. See you on Friday.
Bye, guys.
Thank you. Bye.